Hello and welcome to another TCB World Cup short podcast. Last time we had Jake talk all things England versus Tunisia before England's opening game, of course, against Tunisia. But this time you'll have me, Sam, talking all things Japan. On a brief note on our short England podcast, I think from now on I shall call Jake Mr. England, as not only will he be covering all of England's matches at the World Cup for the commentary box, but also he has kitted his car out full of England flags. Anyways, back to Japan, not literally. So in yesterday's match in Group H, Japan and Colombia locked horns. Colombia went in as favourites to beat Japan, with Colombia lying 49 places above Japan in the FIFA World Rankings, with Colombia sitting in 16th and Japan in 61st. As such, many people predicted Japan to have no chance of winning the match, let alone getting out of Group H. Cough, I predicted Japan to win on our FIFA Match Predictor League. Despite this, Japan clinched a 2-1 victory over the South American side, who got to the quarterfinals of the 2014 World Cup, becoming, as many pundits have said, the first Asian side to beat a South American team at the World Cup. So first of all, let's have a look at how Japan beat Colombia. Yes, Japan were somewhat fortunate in the match against Colombia, with, of course, Colombia conceding an early penalty within 10 minutes as Carlos Sanchez handballed it in the penalty area. Kagawa scored the subsequent penalty, but I don't think Japan were that fortunate in the overall scheme of things, because Colombia, though we're down to 10 men, could still threaten any opposition due to the likes of Falcao being in the team. Japan were very strong for most of the match, and even when they did concede a goal to make it 1-1 temporarily, this goal was from a cheeky Quintero free kick and not in open play, as for most of the time the Japanese defence looked somewhat unfazed, even after the Golden Boot winner of the last World Cup, James Rodriguez, came onto the pitch. And many sides, after conceding a goal, if they're an underdog, would capitulate, but they didn't. They kept being creative, they kept being positive, and they got rewarded for that, with Yuo Ozako scoring a headed goal from a Honda corner. Ozako was not only instrumental, of course, in the goals, but he was brilliant across the pitch and was one of the main reasons why Japan did so well. But it was a brilliant team performance, and as I'll be coming on later, there's a lot of individuals, really good individuals in the team, but there's also a really good sense of community and kind of teamwork in this Japanese squad, and I'll be talking about that a bit later when I talk about why I think Japan will be the surprise package. But yeah, Ozako not only, of course, scored the goal, but he was also great at the other end of the pitch, blocking a goalward shot from James Rodriguez. Japan were very effective after the goal, in seeing the match out, which could be vital in any World Cup games. So basically, Japan nullified Colombia, and I know Colombia were down to 10 men, but Japan really took charge of the match, and that's how they beat them, because Peckerman, the Colombian coach, was out of ideas. He didn't know what to do, and Japan seemed like the better side, and they were the better side, and I think it would have been a tight match no matter if Colombia had got the man sent off or not, and it would have been interesting to see what it would have done without the sending off, but I still think Japan would have maybe drawn or won the game because they were the better side. Anyway, so we've decided the match, so now let's look why I fancy Japan to be the surprise package of this World Cup. Japan have many quality players amongst their ranks. In the midfield, they have a wealth of creative talent. Kazuki Honda, the ex-AC Milan midfielder, a player once touted as a world-class player, is part of the Japanese squad for his third World Cup. He has already made an impact by crossing in the corner that led to the second Japanese goal in the Colombian match. The false nine, as stated by Jonathan Wilson, a football writer, has plenty of experience at both club and country level, with over 90 caps for Japan under his belt, and playing at some of the highest levels of football in Serie A and Champions League for AC Milan. His guile, creativity, experience and vision will make the midfield of Japan no pushover in attack. Plus, he will hoping that he will have a warm reception in Russia after playing in Russia for CSKA Moscow for 5 seasons prior to his move to AC. Elsewhere in the midfield, I know... Elsewhere, where can you go from Kazuki Honda? Well, you can call upon Shinji Kagawa, with him being still fairly youthful and a fitter kind of version of Kazuki Honda. Kagawa is a current Borussia Dortmund player and an ex-Man United player. And he has great passing ability, great vision. However, unlike Kazuki Honda, he's got a bit more flair to him, a bit more pace in the midfield for Japan, which will make him a vital player for Japan in unlocking what we are seeing very defensive sides at the World Cup. So hopefully, with Kagawa and Honda, that midfield can break down these defences, and that's why I think they're no mean feat. And as such, these two players on their day can be world class, and that means that Japan's midfield is not too shabby at all. Furthermore, in defence, they can call upon at least 2 star players. First of all, at centre-back, they have Maya Yoshida. Maya will add a real physical presence to this Japanese squad and defence with his strength and height. As well as this, he has played an integral part in Southampton's Premier League survival, meaning as a defender he has come up against the likes of Hazard, Aguero and Kane, some of the world's best attackers. And as such, his familiarity with defending at such a top level can provide a pivotal role in organising Japan's defence, ensuring Japan will be a tough side to break down. And we've seen that against Colombia. Ayuto Nakatomo, a fullback who has just finished his club season with silverware as Galatasaray won the Turkish Superliga, with, of course, Bafétimbi Gomis becoming one of the all-time top scorers, not all-time top scorers, but I think the most goals for a foreign player in a season in Turkey. He was part of that side, and perhaps that will mean that he is on high morale, perhaps shown by the fact he has dyed his hair blonde for the World Cup. He's a feisty, passionate player who can draw upon his unlikely and unpredicted successful period at Inter Milan to not really only keep the Japanese defence sound, but also be potent in attack with the quality delivery he has from deep crosses. Elsewhere in the side, Japan can rely on many other top quality players, including a wealth of talent from the Bundesliga, a goalkeeper from the French side Metz called Eiji Kashima, and of course they have an array of talent that comes from the ever-strengthening league, which is the J-League, which sees players such as Podolski play in it, and of course Iniesta will be playing in the future, and these players that play in the J-League should not be underestimated in their ability. That's kind of why I think Japan will do well. And I know, though, Japan's record in 2018 has been somewhat abysmal, with the Samurai Blue winning only 1 game in 5 in 2018. Moreover, their coach Akira Nishio has only been in charge for 2 matches prior. However, in the world, we love an underdog, and underdogs can achieve. Just look at Russia. They have been so poor in friendlies before the World Cup, yet they have scored 8 goals in just 2 matches at the World Cup, recording wins against Saudi Arabia and Egypt. And as such, with Japan coming into this World Cup with little pressure at home because they don't think they're going to do too well, and as underdogs, they have a real chance to perform, and they have a chance. They've shown that over their win against Colombia, and as such, I believe they can upset the apple cart at this World Cup. Oh, how could I forget? Another reason why I think they will go far at this World Cup is because of Shinji Okazaki, a Premier League winner with Leicester City, of course, a player who is so valuable to his team, any team he plays in, due to his extremely high work rate and his bravery. But that's not his only weapon. His other weapon is, of course, his smile. It is one of the reasons I love to watch him play, and as he always plays with a smile in his face. His happiness and joyfulness must rub off to the other players at some point, and I can see the morale improving in the Japanese as such. And with the potential of Japan's morale being better and they being such a close-knit team, I think Japan might have the edge over teams that are less close-knit. So with 3 points on the board in a very even group, they have put themselves in a very good position to go on to qualify. However, it will be tough and very interesting to see how they fare against Senegal in their next match in Group H. But as stated, they will definitely have a chance, and I think they will progress. I certainly will be watching every Japan game at the World Cup after watching this one. Thank you for watching and listening. Let me know how you think Japan will do, and if you agree with me that Japan can go far. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy your footballing weekend and World Cup, of course, and don't forget to be awesome. See ya!